Ninjas, aren't you cute? You're so cute. You're so cute. Anyways, guys, if you guys haven't seen my previous video, make sure to check out my videos tab and make sure to look at the video before this one, which is how to dress like DJs. Some of you guys decided to take it up the ass, which hopefully you had lube for that because, again, it was a funny video, guys. And hopefully you used the right kind of lube, you know, the water type, not the petroleum jelly kind, because then when you stick it up a girl's ass, you get it all up in there and then it's so hard for them to take it out. I don't know. I'm just saying what I think might happen. Anyways, guys, let's get started. So the name of this video is how to get more realistic sounding pianos. Now, pianos literally in real life don't sound like Nexus. If you guys have ever used Nexus, you're gonna hear a piano and it's literally gonna sound like a machine is beating the shit out of the piano, aka this. Oops, chord triggers, baby. So to me in real life, that's like me like bam 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 bam, like getting all crazy with it. But you guys know you can't, you know, you can play the piano like bam bam, like go ham on it like a fucking crazy ass motherfucker, or you can kind of do it softly, you know, like very gently. Okay, so the difference here, guys, I'm gonna be teaching you guys how to avoid getting pianos that sound like a machine is playing them, like literally, like I was like, and today we're gonna be using the velocity feature. So that's the key to it. If you guys just want to get rid of it this video already, there is a preset called piano in there, but in this video we're gonna go over how to work the velocity, what the knobs do and all that, and I'm gonna try to explain them down to earth terms, or aka SEMrull terms, where I try to make it funny, I guess. Anyways, guys, in order to understand the velocity feature, first you need to understand MIDI. MIDI is going to be pretty much, MIDI is going to be telling the piano, hey, you play this note, you play this note, you play this note, as you guys can see here. Now, below the MIDI, it's going to say velocity, okay? And you're going to see from 1 to 127, that's the range of velocity. Keep that in mind. I don't know why it's 127, maybe because 128 is the magic number. I don't know, people say it's not, but fuck them. Anyways, so 127, 1 to 127 means how hard it's going to be played, aka, you know, it's kind of like thinking, okay, at 1, we're playing it very like, and then at 127 it's like boom, you know, straight down. Okay, so that's the difference between 1 and 127, how hard it's being played. Now, velocity only matters if the whatever you're using, whatever instrument you're using has that feature, and a lot of pianos are gonna have that feature. Okay, so let's say you're like too lazy to go in and change it. So what do you do? Okay, so here we have the velocity feature, guys. Okay, now first let me show you what it does. The velocity is mainly gonna affect your MIDI. It's not gonna affect your sound in any way. The only way it's gonna affect it is gonna be in the sense of how the plugin is, you know, interpreting how you want it played, so soft or hard or, you know, balls deep. Okay, so I don't know why that made me laugh. Some snot came out. Anyways, guys, so with the velocity feature here, we're going to put this as an ARP because we're going to be able to hear it better. Now, the velocity feature is going to have a couple of knobs, not that many, so it's going to be easy to grasp, okay? Here we're going to have the out high. Here we're going to have the out low. Remember that magic number 1 to 127, 128. That's going to be the range. So out high and out low is going to decide pretty much your range, aka what range you want to stay in between. And as you can see here, we have this kind of graph that lets us know, you know, 127 here is max. This is, yeah. Now, out high is going to affect, obviously, the y-axis only because you can see it's moving up and down. So the y-axis is going to be the change in velocity that we're going to be affecting. And the x, aka going across, is going to be the MIDI coming in, okay? Now, when we play this, how do we use the velocity to get more realistic sounding pianos? It's very easy, guys. The first thing you want to do, and this is the simplest way, is just turn the random knob up, and you're going to see it's going to show this gray outline. All that means the random is if your MIDI information, let's say, is at 127, and let's choose a different one because 127 is our max, so this is not going to make any sense. We're going to pick 196. 96 is good. Now, what Random 32 says is that this velocity feature is going to make it so that any note above 96 by 32 and below 96 by 32 can be randomly played at any time. What this is going to do is it's going to change the velocity at random intervals. And you guys know when you're playing the piano, you know, maybe a perfect guitarist can get it down where it's like the velocity is the same on all the keys. But in real life, honestly, if you're doing this, eventually you're going to start getting tired. And that kind of adds to the human element of it, the human error that a lot of people love, the human error that makes your piano sound more realistic. So if we were to do this right now and play this without it, this is how it's going to sound like. Now, if we turn the velocity on, you're going to see there's going to be a change in velocity in certain notes. You can see right there, the volume kind of went down, and that's what we're doing with the random. Now, obviously, you don't want to do it like this because it does sound kind of like a little bit messy because it's like, oh, he fucked up or he hesitated to click the note. So how do we get it to sound clean? The way we do it is utilizing the out high and the out low. What we want to do is pick a range between, let's say, if it's 96, let's go up to 112, and the out low will be like around maybe 60. Now, this is going to make it so that there's a little bit of change in velocity, but not that much to the point where like the volume goes from being at 0 to down to like -48, and they're like, what the fuck happened, you know? And with that, you're going to be choosing your outline. Okay, now the next thing we're going to have is our range here, which acts sort of like a filter in a way. Pretty much what the range does, and what's different between the range and the out high and the out low, is that the range, when you have the range, if it goes above it, our mode is going to activate here. And we have clip mode, gate mode, and fixed mode. Clip mode is pretty much going to say, the best way to put it, guys, is going to be if something goes over the range of 85, it's going to say, hey, bitch, get down to 85. It's pretty much, you know, like forcing it to go down the velocity MIDI. Now, gate mode is pretty much going to be a pussy, and it's going to let it say, oh, okay, you can do it, but I'm not going to play it through the speaker. So, aka, if your velocity is hitting at 50, let's say 100, and your range is set to, let's say, 96, and it hits 100, the velocity is pretty much not going to play the note. It's going to notice it's there, but it's going to say, nah, it's not coming out. I'm not going to play it. Okay, so that's what the range is, the difference between the range and out high and out low. Now, the fix works in correlation with the out high, which means no matter what you have here set, you can go into the velocity and say fix, and you can say, okay, this is what I want it at. So you can choose it to be at 119 or at 17. And it will stay at that velocity no matter what, as long as the random is set to 0. But if the random is set to, let's say, 30, what we can do, again, vice versa, is go to 96, let's say, that's where we want it, or 67, and then what you're going to have is anything above 65, anything below 65 can be played, you know, as long as it's in the increments of 33, aka anything between 65 plus 33 and whatnot. So this is the trick to getting, again, more realistic sounding pianos. It gives you that human element. And again, you can just use the preset if you want from the piano section. It's pretty decent. It gives you a more sounding piano, but if you want it hard, again, all you have to do is move the drive up instead of down. Now, the drive is a fun feature. If you put it up, again, it's going to make almost all the notes sound really high. There's going to be a lot of change. If you put it low, it does the negative to it. It kind of lowers the values of the velocity. The comp is just going to make it so that, again, there is not that much change going on. The comp and negative, you can see there is no change almost here. There's like almost a straight line. That means no change because there's no Y values. And if we put it up, you can see there's more Y values, so it counts for more change. So pretty much the X curve here, the velocity curve, is going to decide a lot. So make sure to keep an eye on it. Anyways, guys, this has been the video. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm hungry. I have class in a few, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Peace out. Watch my video before. Make sure to subscribe.